The release of Grow Garden 2 has gotten itself to a big trouble. In this video, we're going to be going over a bunch of things that have actually happened ever since the announcement of Grow Garden 2, the sequel to Grow a Garden that is going to be coming out here very soon. I did already make a video on it, but basically, Jandel went ahead and posted the official trailer for Grow a Garden 2, which is supposed to be coming out extremely soon. We haven't actually gotten an exact date, but we did get this trailer, or cinematic trailer, which does go over basically the entire game, and oh boy, is there a lot to talk about. And when I say a lot to talk about, I'm not necessarily talking about things that are going to be in Grow a Garden 2, because from watching the trailer, you could quickly tell that, to be honest, it's a big disappointment. Now, after I saw this trailer and some of the comments that people were putting about it, I decided to make my own post, and the people who commented on that actually left some very good feedback that I think is really important to get into, because honestly, the way this is going right now, I really hope it doesn't happen, but Grow Garden 2 might never release, and I'm not gonna lie, bro, I at least want to try it. I started scrolling through the comments on this post of the trailer, and a lot of people were like, wow, this game is really bad. I went ahead and said this. I'm seeing lots of people hating idea of a Grow Garden 2 game. Honest take, Grow Garden really had no direction going for it anymore, and to be honest, I would agree on that. I mean, it's my own statement, but to be honest, Grow Garden, no matter how much updates the developers went ahead and put into here, it was not gonna ever go back to its 20 million player count that it once had. And a lot of people want to say it's school and stuff, but let me show you the fact that it is definitely not school. So all of those keyboard warriors who say it's up because of school, it's not. When you look at the player count of Grow Garden exactly 1 year ago, so let's say like early June right here, okay? It had around 1.5 million players on average, and this was when the game was basically entering its prime. However, as you can see, June 1st all the way today, it is reaching nowhere near that. Matter of fact, it is closer to the number 0 than it is to anything else. So quickly, we found out, obviously, it's not simply because of school, and it's actually a bunch of factors that I think are really important to consider, and the developers hopefully are doing so too. For one, it's the fact that obviously shekels in this game have become completely useless. In this game, I literally have over 434 of these flowers, which is equivalent to 1 QA each, and then I have a bunch more on top of that. So obviously, I basically have an infinite amount of that currency, but it doesn't end there at all. On the other hand, it's Roblox's fault. Outside of all of the things that the game has done wrong, for example, us getting some terrible events. Now, the B event is definitely not a terrible event. I really love this one. You know, you got this entire wasp dungeon system. This is really cool stuff. However, there has been some pretty bad ones. But outside of that, it is Roblox's fault, to be fair. While it does still peak very high on weekends, this player count across all games has fallen. Even games like including Steal a Brain Rot, which are also very much dead from where they were before. It's not a dead game, but they are definitely falling, and so is the entire Roblox platform. I mean, you can just see we have gone from all the way around like almost 20 million concurrent players on the weekend, all the way to less than 4 or 5 million. This is a huge decrease to what it was, and this is after a bunch of terrible decisions that Roblox themselves have made, such as adding the age stuff. I mean, it is very good in protecting people, which I honestly cannot blame them for it, but a lot of states in the US have already been complaining about it, and you know, they just keep adding more and more age things, so obviously, you know, players are just gonna stop playing the right game. And I mean, you can't even chat with most people now. You can only chat with people in similar age groups and your trusted friends. When you consider all of the changes they've made, plus all of the mistakes Grow a Garden has made, it turns out to be a lot, and hence why the reason this game has died. But why are people not excited about a sequel? The sequel to Grow a Garden isn't necessarily being disliked because they're making another game, but it's the fact that this trailer from what everybody is able to tell, this makes it seem like the game is almost identical to the original, aka making people wonder, why would you even want to play a new game? I mean, heck, even the graphics are the same, which honestly, I would say the graphics, they could have done a little bit better, maybe something new, but obviously they want to stay to the retro Roblox style, so that's why it hasn't been changed. The only feature that's really new from the trailer is the fact that there is stealing in the game now, which, to be honest, if I were a developer for Grow a Garden, I would not make my entire game about stealing, because people really do not like that feature. Stealing is one of the most hated features in the game. Even in Grow a Garden 1, where it takes Robux to steal, people hate doing that. Now, people asked for locks in this game. The developers never actually ended up adding that, even though the favorite tool was supposed to do that. It actually does not do that thing at all. It does not lock your fruit. Unless the developers are simply just trying to show stealing as a mechanism that's going to cost Robux, then it's gonna be hated by a lot of people, because nobody likes stealing, bruh. But a lot of other people simply think, yeah, I think it's probably just another money grab. Gag 2 literally just Gag 1 reset, because the inflation in Gag 1 cannot be stopped. But there is one factor that stands out, and it's the thing that honestly says that there is literally nothing new in this brand new game. Nightfox went ahead and commented, I don't understand. What's the difference? I mean, there is literally near nothing of a difference in this game. I don't know why the developers introduced it like this, because to be honest, there is actually quite a bit of differences that we do know from leaks, and these are things that I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. But in this trailer, the devs literally made it seem like we are playing the exact same game, except the map is a circle and the NPCs are in the middle. That is literally it. But what are the things that actually make this different? Because without understanding those, I feel like literally every single person is not going to want to play this game. If you take a look at the center of the map, for one, there is one thing that kind of stands out. Outside of, the props, the sell shop, we're just going to go ahead and cover all of those because that's the same. But there is this thing called guilds, and it's very hard to see. But you heard it right. Grow a Garden 2 is going to have a guild system. It's very similar to what we had in the game before in Gag 1, where there was this NPC that you could talk to, join a team with people, except this guild system is something that is permanent and it's going to let you make a bunch of upgrades. As you can see, in Gag 2, there's a guild creation NPC where you can create guilds, upgrade speed, jumps, and shovel power. There's multiple things that you will be able to upgrade. One of the ones that caught my attention was the fact you can upgrade your shovel power. And to be honest, at the moment, we're not really sure what that really means. But in this game, shovel power, there's literally no such thing as shovel power outside of the fact that, you can attack these mobs with shovels. So could that be what they're talking about? Could that be having to do with the stealing mechanism at night? Who really knows until we actually get more information, right? A lot of people say just think so, basically a cash grab to fill your pockets. I see no difference. For the most part, they are right. From this trailer, you literally cannot see anything. Now, even the plants in the game look nearly the exact same, if not exact, but there is some unique ones too that actually look really, really beautiful. Like, look at this. This is what is going to apparently be called the Moon Bloom. This is probably one of the coolest seeds that I have ever seen. If this was added in Grow a Garden 1, I think it would be really nice. Now, I know it does say Grow a Garden here, but I promise you this is meant for Grow a Garden 2. This one is really nice, but then there is also this one right up here. Look at that. This is such a huge seed, and as you can see, it is in the same exact map style as Grow a Garden 2, where it's like circular stuff. But you can also see that you are able to expand your plot in the new game, apparently, so that's kind of nice. Also, I don't know what's going on, but when you actually look at the leaks that Adrian himself has posted on the game a long time ago, it really looks like a bunch of these fruits are like stacked together. As you can tell, they're building like towers with this. I don't necessarily know how that works, but if that is a new feature, I'm interested to find out what it is and whether or not it's actually going to make a difference. I think Jandel's biggest mistake was hiring whoever he did for the trailer, because to be honest, they did not fit anything new into it unless that was his original plan. Yeah, let's just make an entirely brand new game, but literally copy and paste everything and then just not have anything unique in the trailer, even though there is some cool stuff. The events in this game also seem to be more interactive. A lot of them like boost you into the air and stuff, and you don't really have too many of those inside the game. As you can tell, obviously, in some aspects, the game does look better, but it looking better does not necessarily mean it's going to be more fun, because to be honest, you really can't tell too much. From very old leaks, we can also see that there is like the raccoons just stealing everything out of a guy's garden. So I do necessarily actually think that the stealing mechanism is gonna be a big part, because as you can tell, it says this is stolen, and I don't know how to necessarily feel about that. Like, there's a lot of stealing going on in this game, and bro, stealing is just not a good feature. I feel like it's going to ruin the game, but I hope not. The only thing I can tell the devs is to hopefully consider making some changes. Show people what they want to see. Let us see some new stuff. I mean, there is a bunch of things that is new, although I don't know how much there is exactly. There is quite a bit, and I really hope that if we are getting a sequel to the game, they don't end up just making the same mistakes as they did in Grow Garden 1, because as much as the developers say they listen, I feel like most of the time they still do not. Like last update, a lot of people were talking about how it's useless to grind anything inside of the update, and then they came out with this update, which, don't get me wrong, you can get these bee shards and stuff to make your bees stronger, but what is the point when there is genuinely no good rewards other than the shards that make your beast stronger inside of this dungeon? Like, there is nothing that you're gonna get to keep forever, and having a bunch of plants in this game has completely turned useless, because one, there is too many plants, and two, there is no reason for us to get any form of money. As you can tell, also, when Jandel leaked the trailer, over 8,500 people so far have gone ahead and disliked it. This is about like a fourth of all of the people who have ever voted. That means 25% of the players who are probably going to check this game out might genuinely not like it. And who knows, bro? Like I said, we seriously just have to see the game to know anything, because it is a cinematic trailer at the end of the day. I think it is also important to mention Jandel in the past has actually gone ahead and delayed something because he was not happy with it. So if this game does not get delayed or canceled momentarily, then he must be happy with it. And who knows, he might genuinely just cancel the game in order to make it not a disappointment to the people. But who knows what Jandel has up on his sleeves. Bro, there's literally a proposed community note on Jandel's post about this thing, which literally is saying it's the same game. Like, this basically means a lot of people think that this game is just not worth it. But I mean, there is one that says a trailer with similar assets does not mean the game will be the same and identical. Keep your speculations and opinions in the replies. And honestly, that couldn't have been said better. I genuinely just think at the moment it's all speculation and just comments and opinions based off of what we already know, but I really hope the developers are not just making the same product again. Somebody said, what inspired you to build a second Grow Garden right next door to the original? And they just said money, bro. It does make sense. Obviously, the developers are probably making a very minuscule of a fraction to what they used to be making when this game was really popular, and it does make sense why they want more money. Or, well, actually, yeah, I mean, I guess it makes more sense, but they're already very rich. But they are not going to be able to make anywhere as much money if they do not come out with this game properly. Jandel has said that he wants to go back to the old summer where everybody was playing Grow Garden late at night. So hopefully they can make the right moves to get us to that point, but that also means the game is to be released very soon. At the end of the trailer that they gave us, it does just simply say coming soon, which doesn't give a date. But honestly, if I were to give you guys an estimate, I would say probably within the next 2 or 3 weeks. After all, we are at 4 parts to this B event, and maybe the developers do one more different type of event, or they might just do some more parts of the Busy Bee event. Who knows? But whatever it is, from now onward, you could probably expect a lot of leaks to be coming out for this brand new game. Talking about leaks, if you enjoyed this video, hurry up and watch one of these videos on the screen right here. I once I picked it for you myself. I really think you're gonna like it, but hurry up, pick it fast. This video's about to end, and until then, I'll see you in that video. Hurry, click it, subscribe.